Hello, hello, hello. It's time for another Pivot Points. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sarah Olivieri. I am a #1 international best-selling author, coach, and consultant to businesses, but especially my favorites, nonprofits and nonprofit CEOs, sometimes called executive directors. And it is my privilege every week to go live to give you a little nugget to help you as a CEO succeed in your role. I go live immediately following my coaching session with my Thrive clients, and these tips come out of those sessions. So this is what's really on the mind of my Thrive CEOs and executive directors right at this time. And today, the real takeaway that came out was about creating meaningful, open communication with your board of directors. And this is important whether you're a nonprofit with a board or a for-profit that has a board of directors. Maybe you're a publicly traded company now, or you just have a board of owners, right? Even if you're not public. Communication is really critical. And today we were particularly talking about the situation where it is time for new board officers to be elected, right? And this is a really good opportunity to facilitate open communication, vulnerability, and meaningful conversations with your board members. So the big tip is use that time when you're going to be electing officers to have a meeting to really have open conversation for each person who has been nominated, whether they nominated themselves or they were nominated by somebody else, each person who's willing to do a role, to have them talk about why they're interested in a role, how interested they are, what they could see doing in that role. Because what's happening here in the process of nominating and then ultimately electing officers is we're talking about power dynamics on your board. And there's nothing that makes us often more uncomfortable to talk about than to talk about power dynamics. But ultimately, boards of directors potentially have a lot of power. And so shying away from these conversations is the opposite that we want to do. And if we can't have conversations about the power dynamics of the people who are elected to the powerful positions on our board, then we really can't be talking about power dynamics or leadership or management at the rest of the levels on our organization. So my #1 takeaway for you today is use the opportunity of when it's time to elect officers to take the time to have those conversations, to make sure the conversations are meaningful, to make sure the process is all about having meaningful conversations so that you end up with a stronger board who communicates better. You'll have better officers in place and less fallout for those who maybe ran but didn't get elected, because we don't want those people to feel disengaged or bad afterwards, right? If they didn't get elected, we still want them as engaged, valuable board members. And the fact that they were willing to even put their name out there means that they're potentially a very great board member to have on your board. That's what I have for you today. If you'd like tips like these in your inbox, go to pivotground.com/sign up. Or if you're thinking, oh my God, I have to be in the room with Sarah. I want to hear what I missed. What you missed was a bunch of marketing stuff too. And you missed where we outline the step-by-step process of how to actually run these board nominations and how you should get the nominations and all the nitty-gritty details of what to do. If you're saying, I want to be in the room for that, I want that kind of help, I don't want to be doing these things alone, I want to be in the Thrive program, then go to pivotground.com .com/application. And I would love to give you a training all about the impact method and the kinds of things that we do in the Thrive program if your application is approved, and ultimately see you inside the Thrive program where we can have those conversations about exactly what's going on for you in your organization. Until next week, bye.